Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am scrapbooking a photograph of my son. This was after he had sworn to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States when he became a poolee in the United States Marine Corps. He had just turned 17. We had signed the paperwork for him, and he spent a couple months, well, more than a couple months, prepping to go into boot camp, and he left on Mother's Day, and today he is actually in the middle of participating in the Crucible. So I thought that this would be an appropriate moment to scrapbook this photo of him. I can't wait till he comes home and we get to go see him on graduation day and see the changes in him. He turned 18 while he was at boot camp, so we are really excited and really proud of him. The only thing I know is that I'm going to use this gray dotted paper, and I had gone to Tuesday Morning, I don't know, a while ago, and found these patriotic journaling cards and some die cuts from Pebbles, and I thought I might be able to use that with this photo. So I have no idea what I'm doing other than I wanted to scrapbook this photo on this particular day. All right, let's see what I can do. So I have a bunch of different papers. I just pulled them from my scraps. I'm not even sure where this dotted paper came from. I know that it is super old. I think it's one of the first stacks I had ever even purchased when I started scrapbooking, and it had all those awful patterns in it, but the dots are cool. They're good. I pulled out a doily because I thought it's white, red, white, and blue. That would work. I also pulled out that star paper, and I'm not exactly sure where that came from. All I know is that I've used it on a lot of Disney layouts. I think it might be a Christmas paper, but, you know, whatever. I pull out these Doodlebug paper frills, borders, and honestly, I love them. I think that they're so cool. They have flowers and dots and fringy bits and scallops, and I like them. I think they're awesome. They're quick, they're easy. You don't have to worry about your border punches, and if you've watched any of my recent videos, you'll know that I had tried to use a border punch on a layout 3 separate times, guys. 3 different border punches, and they all decided to just all of a sudden become dull where the paper got stuck in them. And have I sharpened them yet? Have I punched them through the wax paper and the aluminum foil? Nope. I sure haven't. They're still sitting over there on that table, and they're kind of like giving me the stare down right now, so I'm going to have to do that. Maybe after I finish voicing over this, I'll get those done so I can use them again, because I really do like them. Alrighty, so this kind of like notebook paper scallops piece, I believe, came from a Teresa Collins border package. I just used some of my red distress ink just to give it a little definition because it does kind of fade into that dotted background. What I did was grab some washi tape, and it's translucent washi tape with gold dots on it. And I've noticed that I'm using a whole heck of a lot of gold lately. I mean a lot of gold. And I'm wondering if I'm using too much gold. Am I going overboard with it? I just don't know. But these die cuts came with gold in them, so I'm just gonna go with it. It's America, red, white, blue, and gold, right? I don't know. So anyway, I layer up another one of those Doodlebug paper frills on top of the fringe one, and I flipped it over so that instead of red, it's going to be that white. And I like it. I've got this dot thing going on. The dot in the background, the dot in the piece of pattern paper, and the dots for that border across the strip. I decide that I'm going to mat my photo on white. I was just going to layer it with that piece of red. It's kind of like an iridescent cardstock, but I really needed the white, I think. It kind of makes the photo kind of like stand out a little bit and maybe smooths it out a little. Not exactly sure what the technical term is there, but I like it. So then I decide to layer it up with that red iridescent sheet, and it's just a little bit poking out, and unless you're really looking at it, you don't know that it's got like that little bit of shine to it. So that USA die cut that came out of that Pebbles kit has 2 flat sides, and I'm thinking it's probably so it could fit on a 3x4 card. I just had this epiphany right now while I'm looking at it. I think it probably could have just fit on a 3x4 card, and that's why it wasn't like a perfect circle. But I decide to layer it up on this 4x6 card and have it meet up with the edge of the card and then tucked under the photo, so you don't even really know that it's not a perfect circle. And then I'm going to use this that's not a 4x6, that's a 3x4 card that says proud to be. And I'm going to use that off as a like a journaling jump off point. And that jump in the video right there is me cutting out about maybe 10 minutes of me fiddling around with the die cuts and just moving them around different places on the page. I kind of struggled with this layout because I don't know if you guys do this. Does anybody else do this where you are scrapbooking such a poignant moment in your life, or this was a poignant moment in my son's life, but a very emotional one for mine, that you kind of want to like do it justice, where you want it to be a beautiful page, you want to be able to capture your feelings, you want to just be able to express that in a scrapbook page. And sometimes I get so wrapped up in that it's hard to get the page actually completed. So it took me a few minutes of like running around and figuring out what I wanted to do with this page, and I decided the title is going to reference him. The title is He Will Always Love Today. He was so excited and proud and just joyful at being able to be sworn in as a poolee. Like he was over the moon. He has been wanted to serve in the military for I don't know how long, ever since he was a little kid. And it just made the moment for him. And the journaling more talks about how proud I am that he did that, and how much I love him, and how overwhelming it is to know that your son would willingly give up his life for other people. I'm not getting emotional. I'm going to stop. All right, I'm bringing it back in. I'm dialing it back. I'm not going to cry. And even though it's not like long, epic journaling, the few words that fit on that card just kind of like sum it up. I'm literally overwhelmed. I don't have the words to describe how I feel. And that's okay. Should I wait to scrapbook this moment because I don't have the words? Like they're in my heart, but they haven't formed in my brain yet. So do I wait to scrapbook that? No, I don't think I do. I think I scrapbook it now. I scrapbook it, and it's okay to say I'm overwhelmed, and I don't know exactly what to say about it. And that's good with me, and it's going to go on my album, and it's going to be a moment. And who's to say, and I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe 3 years from now, maybe next week, I will have this epic prose come out of me where I just have words to say, and I can just write that down and slip it in a page protector and throw it in the album. Like, to me, it's not okay for myself and our family's memories not to document them, even if I don't fully know how I want to document them. How is anybody flipping through our 2016 album? Like, what would that be like if they were flipping through that album and there was nothing about Alex and his quest to become a Marine in that album? Would they think that I wasn't proud of him? Would they think I didn't approve? Like, it needs to be there because it's such a huge part of our family story. Okay, and while I've run off on that tangent, I have decided, I pulled out that scrap of star paper that 4x6 card was attached to, and I know I'm going to cover up that center bit, that hole, so I just go with it. And I really like this red, white, and blue circle bunting, and I cut off the top because I have a love of patriotic bunting. There's a house around the corner from us that puts up their patriotic bunting, and it's on their porch, and it's just beautiful. Like, the house, they have spotlights on it, and it's beautiful, and I just love it. It's just, even before, I just love it, okay? I don't know what it is that it makes me happy, and I like it. What I did was pulled out some Fancy Pants gold bits, and some are swirls, and some, I'm not even exactly sure what that circle thing is up there by that tab on top of the star paper, but it was gold, and I liked it. And then, what am I doing there? Oh, I'm trimming off the edge, and I'm using my trimmer just because I know that it will give me a perfectly straight cut. And look at that, I love it. That cut circle right there, just it evokes a feeling, a personal feeling from me, and I'm cool with that. So I went and pulled my gold star brads, and I don't know when's the last time I used these shaped star brads. I used to, do you guys remember back years and years ago, Making Memories and their packages of brads? They had flower brads and heart brads and star brads and square brads and you name it, and they had a brad for it. And they came in those little packages, and they just were fun. And I think I used them a lot. I used to use flower brads and heart brads, like those brads all the time. And I just think it's time I use some of them. Like, I don't have a lot left, but I love them so much, I should just use them. So I sprinkle them around the page, and I spend a little bit of time figuring out where I want them, and where I want the big stars, and where I want the little stars, because that huge gold star with that red sequin star, I'm using as one of my stars in each cluster. And it's not even really a cluster, it's just decorated. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about design decisions and three things and clusters and visual triangles and all that. I was just doing what I liked and what I thought looked decent. So that's what I did. And I went ahead and I used that Making Memories piercer, which is my favorite oldest tool of all time. And I just poked those little stars through. And at this point, I did not use washi tape on the back of the page, but washi tape will go on the back of those prongs back there before it gets slipped into the album. And I had to, after I finished this layout, I had to go back to my Google Photos and find the exact date this photo was taken. I knew it was in July, but I wasn't exactly sure what the date was. But it was July 20th, 2016. It was shortly after he turned 17 years old. It wasn't long after that at all. So I'm not sure where I went or what I'm doing right here. I thought I had cut off all the wandering around. Oh, I had gone over to the alphabets just to get the stickers. And the title is He Will Always Love Today, because he's always, since that day, he talks about it, about what an awesome feeling it was to be able to go there and get sworn and swear in and have his photo taken by the seal and get his Marine shirt, which is what he's wearing over top of his clothes. So I'd started out with he, and then I realized that I want it always tucked in over the OVE, and I needed to put always on before I did he will, because the he was a little bit too low. So I just pulled up the he a little bit, and those are remarks from American Crafts, and I've had those letter stickers for a long time. They were letter stickers that I had had for a while and never actually used. And then I started using them. And then I go ahead and do my journaling. I'm using a Distress ink pen just because it was the first one I grabbed. And that little banner says proud to be. And I use that as my journaling starting point. So it says proud to be this kid's mom. And then I went and journaled about the overwhelming feelings of it all. Thanks you guys for watching. I really appreciate any comments you leave. I love talking to you on here. I love talking to you guys in the Facebook groups. It's just a lot of fun for me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will see you guys later. Bye.